Hello, everyone. Well, thank you for inviting me today. I was very happy when I had the opportunity to participate in this webinar and, well, present you some insights of what the industrial cybersecurity for the water sector important is. I represent the Industrial Cybersecurity Center, like my colleague Christina just introduced me. We are a small association based in Spain, and we are a non-profit association, and our main goal is to improve the industrial cybersecurity awareness through many activities. And I'm going to talk to you about these activities today and hopefully share some insights. Bear with me because I can't pass my presentation. So look, there we go. So yeah, this is what I wanted to talk to you about, the context about cybersecurity in the water sector and the importance of secure remote access, like my colleagues were presenting to you earlier, but from a cybersecurity perspective. And let's talk about one of the projects that CCI is doing, a complete water cycle scenario with one of our platforms, and the study that we are conducting at the moment, and some final analysis from this. So in cybersecurity, like Ahmed had said previously, it's very important to keep things simple, not try to complicate, and the context of what our plant is, in this case, a drinking water treatment plant or the wastewater, to keep it simple. So that is, understand the context, understand what we have and how the process is, what assets do we have, is very important in order to secure them, but to protect them on a continuous basis. It's also very important to have a remote access to the actual technology that we can find in these plants. In this case, in drinking and wastewater treatment plants, is crucial due to the need to real-time monitoring and also visibility, to have real-time control of what is happening in our plants. But also it's very important in case of an incident to have a fast response. Time is crucial for any cybersecurity incident, and of course, we would like not to have zero impact in here in this kind of scenarios, but unfortunately things happen. We have heard in the press that water sector has been attacked and been compromised, and time is crucial for our processes and to be able, as a critical infrastructure, to be up and running as soon as possible. Also, the capability of having a remote access to what's happening in our plants enhance the operational efficiency of our processes and safeguards the actual water quality. It also strengthens the security, as I was saying, against potential risk. So we will have full visibility. Since COVID, this has also been, in other industrial sites, but water sector is crucial to have that visibility, and we have to follow it. I think the key reasons to have that access is, as I was saying, also for the improvement of that response time, increase the water quality and compliance, and also the cost savings. Cost, at the end of the day, is a very important aspect to consider, and we don't have to go to any further, sites anymore to know what's happening. We can access remotely and have a better view of what's happening. Having said that, I wanted to talk to you through the methodology of our investigation, our study that we are conducting with some of professionals based in Spain, in this case, of the water sector, and they are specializing in cybersecurity for these environments. And I wanted to talk to you through this study that we have gone through. We have had these phases that I'm going to mention. The first one was to gather together, have an inventory of what we can find on a water plant, and highlight some scenarios, possibilities that we can overcome in case we are attacked. Then we have a second phase of this study, which was to create an impact of, well, a criteria table to identify some consequences that we can suffer in the water sector. So that was crucial as well to have a criteria table that I'm going to show you further on this presentation. Also, we find it very important to have a survey conducted to some of the companies in order to have real visibility and to compare as well of what the experts were saying and also what the company's reality is. Sometimes, you know, we like to talk too much about cybersecurity and we overlooked some of the aspects that you have to overcome on your daily basis. So the survey was crucial to have your opinion. And on the fourth phase, we have to investigate what the outcome of that survey is, and also investigate how an attacker could, you know, compromise our plant in what possibilities, you know, talking about that context of our plans. We know that in cybersecurity, one size doesn't fit all. We have to learn about each site, how it is, what we have, how we have it, and then be able to trace an actual plan, for implement cybersecurity. And then for a final phase, we will analyze the different architectures possibilities that we have and recommend or present some recommendations for each of them. So based on this, I wanted to show you at the moment where we are. We have completed the phase 1 and 2. The criteria table that we provided to our experts and they put together, it was based on the evaluation criteria on 5 different aspects: the service provision, the human health, the environmental, economic and reputational aspects. As you can see, the reputational was at the bottom. You might not think the same way, but our experts, they thought that in all these aspects to have in consideration, that was the evaluation criteria. And also the levels of impacts, 1 being very low and 5 very high. So on these ones, you can see more or less what the criteria table was for all of them. In the human health, you know, we have 1 being minor injuries, but also considered death. Imagine that, you know, levels of the water chemicals that are used, they are done or have been altered. It can cause even death, unfortunately. So this is a bit of the criteria and all the possible scenarios that we could find in different areas and aspects. Also, the economic and the environmental aspects are also very important, as you can see. So going back to the methodology, these are all the phases, but at the moment we also conducted a survey in which we asked some questions, about 10 questions from different 10 scenarios that we consider that we could suffer in the water sector. So at the moment we are in the investigation phase, but I wanted to talk you through the survey analysis of these questions that we throw. And these are the comebacks, the assessments from the people that they conducted the survey. In first place, we have the scenario of unauthorized manipulation of the dosage of reagents. They thought it was the most critical or highest impact that we could suffer in the water sector. As I said, this is based on the comebacks of the survey analysis, but you might think differently, and I would love to hear from you as well. For example, in second place, the unauthorized manipulation of physical protection systems, the safety system that is, also came in second place. And as you can see from the 10 high impact scenarios that we proposed, these are the scores that they obtained by the people that participated, sorry, in the survey. So based on that, we chose the first one to simulate this scenario based on the outcome. And we use a platform. This water circular scenario was generated by RECIN. That's the name of the platform that CCI developed with a group of experts. We are lucky enough to have an ecosystem, a global ecosystem, in which many of experts in cybersecurity, they get together and we conduct these kind of projects. In this case, the platform, RECIN, is a platform designated to generate projects of automation and digitalization. And the main goal is to identify the requirements of cybersecurity based on the standard IEC 62443, in this case, the 3-3. And we define the zones that we can find all the different assets that we have in our plant, and also the conduits of how they communicate in between the different areas that we define in that networks architecture in this case. So in each of the zones, we can define for each zone and assets the level of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the assets. And once we gather all the information, so it's like kind of doing an assets inventory in this case, we will have a final architecture here displayed. The platform, what allows us is to have a wider view of how we have things. Of course, we don't put any critical information such as IP or any information critical for the assets, but it's a great overview of how the architecture is and how the different areas of the water cycle scenario are connected and they communicate, and how critical they are. Because at the end, I can't show you due to the lack of timing, but we'll have a final report based on this standard that I mentioned, the 62443/3. And it would tell us if we comply or not with the standard, if we have to implement more cybersecurity in a specific area where our most critical assets are, or if they are communicating with a specific area where it shouldn't. Okay, so this is an example of the scenario that won the survey, and yeah, I hope that you find it interesting. Everyone can access to this platform by joining as a basic member of CCI, and I recommend you have a look at it because it's very interesting to see, and it's a good exercise as well to see if you comply or not or with this scenario. The idea of this survey and this study is to release a document in which we'll have all the aspects of cybersecurity for these 10 different scenarios that we are proposing, and to give you as well a solution. As I said earlier, one side doesn't fit all, but it can give you a glance and you can adapt it to your plant based on this. And I thank you all for listening to me.